Ben from Customising here, folks. I've got here in my hand the Powertech DC Control Box. This is a little box with some built-in fuses, switches and plugs that you can use as a central point to control all of your 12-volt devices in your caravan or camper trailer. The box weighs about 1.65 kilos, measures 36 by 18 by about 15 centimeters to the top of the fuse box here, or 10 centimeters on this black bit here. It's got little screw holes on the back here, and it comes with some screws so you can actually mount it to a board or something in your caravan or back your four-wheel drive or camper trailer, whatever you like. And we'll go into some of the details today on sort of what is inside. Now, it is very much a DIY type scenario here, where this just provides you with switches and power outlets, and you need to put power into this box. You can then also use these for solar in, and you can then use this to power or switch on and off whatever you like going in and out of the box. So you will need to have a little bit of knowledge of 12 volt, what you want to set up and the capabilities of this going into this, or setting this up, but it does give you a lot of options. It's a bit of a tour around the outside here. We've got two Anderson ports here, and they can be used for solar into the power box and also power out. If we have a look at the front here, we've got a fuse box, which we'll go into shortly and explain where all they go. Across the top here, you've got 6 switches that you can use to have power out of the box and switch it from within the box with these switches here. Underneath that, voltmeter to show you the voltage that's coming into or the voltage available at the box here. And then you've got 4 outputs here. One's a USB, got 1 amp and 2.1 amps or 3.1 amps shared there. And you've got 3 12 or 24 volt cigarette ports here, just standard cigarette ports. Now I'll show you the fuse box here. This is weatherproof, so there are rubber seals around it. So you probably don't want to put it right out in the sun or in the torrential rain, but it is going to put up with a bit of moisture. Now, you get some fuses included in here, and I should also mention you do get a bit of a wiring diagram here included with your power box, but it's pretty easy to work it out. So there's 5 fuses in here. You've got 3 15 amp fuses, and each of those fuses is attached to 2 of these switches. So this goes to this one, this goes to these 2, this goes to these 2. So 15 amp fuse there. You can change them out if you want. There's a 5 amp fuse, which is this one here, which is connected or in line with the voltmeter here and the USB port here. And then the 20 amp fuse here lines up with the 3 cigarette points here. The Anderson ports on the side are also fused, but that's up underneath here. Now I've undone this at the moment. We can see the screws on the side here just sit in there, but you can get in underneath here and you can change all this around if you like. They're just blade fittings in here. You can see these Anderson ports here come through a 30 amp fuse here and then go directly to these bus bars here, which is where the power can come straight into the unit. So these these Anderson ports here are going to be connected essentially directly to our battery via the 30 amp fuse here. So we can use that for solar in and also for power out if we like. Now, to get power into the unit, if I just stand this up on its side here, and we just talk about if it's a bit of an orientation while it's standing up, we've got the cigarette plugs here, USB plug here, the voltmeter here, your 2 Andersons, this is your fuse box up here, and the 6 switches across the top here. Now all around the sides, there's 2 in this side, 2 in the opposite side, and 1 in each end are these little rubber grommets. So you can have the power from your battery coming in through these rubber little grommets here, and then you've got some points here that you can attach it directly to this bus bar here. You can use that for more attachments too if you like. There's 3 things attached here already. 2 of those go through the 30 amp fuse to each of these Anderson ports. And the last one goes to the fuse box over here. So it follows in around here, and there's an attachment point power to the fuse box here. And the negative bar here has actually got 4 cables attached, 1 for each of the Anderson ports, and then there's 2 slightly smaller gauge cables here, one that runs to the bay across the front here, the cigarette switches, and then the actual switches at the back there. So you can see inside here we've got power coming into the box. If we attach it to here, we've always got power to the USB and the cigarette points here, and also the Anderson points here, so they're always live and ready to use as soon as we've got the battery attached. They all go through fuses somewhere, but these switches here have both positive and negative to it, but there is a 3rd blade on there which allows you to attach your accessories and things to this. So if you had, say, your UHF radio that you wanted switched through this, you can bring the cable in through the side, attach it to this blade here, that then becomes a switch. So as you flick the switch on the other side, it turns your UHF radio on and off. So you could do that for UHF radio, you could do that for your any extra lights that you've got on the side of the car on your roof rack or whatever you like. Maybe your air compressor, you can switch through one of these as well, just power out from this to the accessory. So once you've got that all wired up and you understand how you've got it all sort of set up inside there, you can then customize the front of this. So you've got space on here for stickers or labels, and you can also label on the top here or up the top, wherever you like. You've got included with the kit a whole heap of worded black stickers here, so deck lights, bilge pump, fog lights, spotlights, radio, whatever you like to stick on there. There's a whole heap of those, and these, a bit harder to see, but these are little symbols, so kind of your standard symbols you'd see in a car, so high beam, low beam. Got, I think, diff locker there. There's a steering wheel lock, I'm not sure what that would be for. It looks like a water pump, maybe, anchor. So you've got all sorts of different things that you can then use to attach to this or stick on this, and you can then customize all the switches on this. So if you've got the space to mount this inside your trailer, camper van, full drive, maybe your dual cab ute, you've got room just to put this up in a corner. It allows you to really customize and keep all those 12-volt accessories and wiring nice and neat inside this weatherproof box here, so that it's really easy to operate, maintain all your fuses and everything all in one spot in your 12-volt setup. Check these out online at snowies.com.au, where you find them at our lowest prices every day. If you've got any questions, let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel for all of our latest info, or check out some other videos like this one down here.